Walk with me.
Why boastest thyself in mischief, O mighty man? The goodness of God endureth continually. The tongue deviseth mischiefs, like a sharp razor working deceitfully. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness, Selah. Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. God shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place, and root thee out of the land of the living, Selah. The righteous also shall see and fear, and shall laugh at him. Lo, is this the man that made not God his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches, and strengthened himself in his wickedness? But I am like a green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the mercy of God forever and ever. I will praise thee forever, because thou hast done it, and I will wait on thy name, for it is good before thy saints. Psalms chapter 52. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have sway over the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. Establish thou me and my seed forever, that we go not astray henceforth and forevermore. Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Those of you on YouTube and TikTok, we thank God for you. And also we thank God for those of you that have been with us since the beginning. And we thank God for those of you who have just moseyed on in here and there as about. And we thank God for you, yes. And those of you who have just subscribed or followed. And we thank God for you that it's not in vain that you're doing this thing, for you will obtain more knowledge and insight, even strengthening your discernment in spiritual things. And we thank God for his mercy and his favor, and that because of our obedience to him. Yes. Now we're in the book of Jubilees. Jasher, I'm sorry. The book of Jasher. Jasher chapter 5. Yes, Jasher chapter 5. And we ended at verse 25. And we're going to go on to verse 26 as you prepare. But we thank God for coming up. We have the feast of Passover. Yes, a time, it's just not thinking about the past. It's thinking about what's going to happen in the future. Regardless of how God does it, we know that he's going to send his angels, because that's also in the Old and New Testament, to gather his saints. Not the saints that you see that the whole church talks about. No, not those saints, but those who have followed his statutes, commandments, laws, and ordinances. Yes, those saints, those anointed, those elect. That's to be elected. You got to follow these things. This is just not something you just shrug off because of your, should I say, modernity in your thinking. Modernity in our thinking today is only technology. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with spirituality. Because you got a new lamp, a new TV, a new wave of lights, because you got a drone or a helicopter, or you see these cool tools and things that are innovative to nothing. Because man lived without it before for thousands of years, but yet in the last 400 years, we've accumulated this stuff, really accumulates to nothing. Man has survived the heats and cools and all kind of things and floods and all kind of things, and we did not need these things. We learned how to do with what we had. And even today, these things cause woes because you wonder about those who would steal your electronics. Mainly, that's what thieves want these days, are electronics. They don't want food, they want electronics. And some, maybe a spoon, a fork, or a plate, but they used to steal that before because they were hungry. But now it's not hungry, it's greed. And let us go into this reading. In verse 26, and do thou take unto thee gopher wood. Now, gopher wood is, if you Google it, gopher wood is a transliteration. Just like Esau's supposed to be a transliteration. It's found in Florida, what they call gopher wood. But gopher wood could also mean teak wood. It also can be teak. That's one of the hardest woods that's hard to And that's found in that region also. You got teak wood, and then you have another wood that's very hard to bend. I don't know the name of that wood, but it's very hard to bend, and only those without even machines it's hard to bend. But some tribes on the continent of what is called Africa, or Akabulan, some call it, you have a tribe or a group of people there that know how to bend this special wood. Now, the watchers were the ones who really built the ark. Noah helped in some ways or another, but it was the watchers, or those watchers that did not fall with mankind. Yes. And it says now in verse 27, and thus shalt thou make it 300 cubits its length, and 50 cubits broad, and 30 cubits high. And thou shalt make unto thee a door at its side, and to a cubit thou shalt finish above, and cover it within and without with pitch. It's like mud, slime, or whatever you want to call it. It dries up. And behold, I will bring the flood of waters upon the earth, and all the flesh be destroyed from under the heavens, and all that is upon the earth shall perish. Now also you have in the book of Daniel and the book of Revelation and different books of the Bible where it talks about the end times. See, the fact is, number one, the first sign is people running away from the things of God, His law, statutes. I ain't talking about Jesus. No, not him. Because he is the one you're talking about has been transliterated. He has an image, and nobody knows what he looked like. We know his color, but we don't know what he looked like. But the fact is that they have went and they have concocted themselves images into their own image. Even some of us who call ourselves the children of the book, we have concocted him in our own image to try to counter those who have concocted him in their image. But two wrongs don't make a right. There is no image that we can associate, even a facial image that we can associate to the Messiah or he that is elected to be judge over the earth. He wasn't here to save you. He came to judge the earth. He said that himself. They add stuff in there. See, many of you don't get it. And he had to be martyred. He had to learn the ways of man. He had to learn the temptations of man in order to be able to judge mankind. So he shall be just like Enoch. He will judge in heaven and in earth. So therefore, he says now, and thou shalt make unto thee a door at its side to a cubit, and thou shalt finish it above and cover it with pitch. Now, another thing is that, excuse me, is that we have to really understand when the righteous perish, when God hath moved his hands, there shall be great trouble in the earth. Even what some of you call the man of sin, or the man that opposed God, when he comes and declares peace, according to the book of Revelation, and then he begins to profane the things of the Most High. Isis is already profane. I'm talking about the statutes, commandments, and ordinances of the Most High, even his law. That's what I'm talking about. When he comes and do these things, it's very subtle that this is going to happen. Many of you are not going to even recognize it. Only those who know the word of the Most High and understand his way will decipher what is going on. Even now you wonder. You ask yourself, why are different things occurring the way that it does? You have to watch the signs. Watch the signs. Because the signs are what's going to tell you when it's time to leave here. You don't know when you got to go. You don't know when your time of demise is. But you can prepare by the life you live. Yes. By the way you keep God's commandments, ordinances, statutes, and laws. Yes. This is how you do it. Now what happened here shall happen again. The righteous shall be taken out. And then all torment is going to happen on earth. First, a great persecution is going to occur. Even Daniel said, blessed did he come to a certain amount of days, which amounts to about 3.5 years. Yes, it does. And after that, the wrath of the Most High shall engulf the earth. Then he shall cleanse the earth. And the earth is going to be cleaned from the filth of all these roads and smoke and all this mess that we have. And there shall be no more sea eventually. We will not hunger or thirst. Yes, it ain't about having no wives and having this and that. What you want with a wife when you got God sitting up there, or a woman with a man? There will be no male and female there. Only spirits. Oh, what tangle webs we weave. Had a cough today. But anyway, let's continue. And behold, I will bring floodwaters upon the earth. All flesh shall be destroyed. All flesh shall be destroyed from off the earth during this second time. And all that is upon the earth shall perish. Everything. And thou and thy household shall go and gather 2 couples of all living things, and male and female shall bring them to the ark and raise up seed from them upon the earth. In other words, they're going to copulate and produce after their kind. And gather unto you all food that is eaten by all the animals, and that they may be food for thee and for them. In other words, God had some way that the lion ate straw and or whatever. God had showed them, or the watchers or the spirits that helped them build this ark. And Noah rose up and made an ark in the place where God had commanded him, and Noah did as God had ordered. And in his 595th year, Noah commenced to make the ark, and he made the ark in 5 years as the I Am commanded. Then Noah took the 3 daughters of Eliakim, the son of Methuselah, for the wives of his sons, as the I Am had commanded Noah. And it was at that time Methuselah, the son of Enoch, died. God had took another righteous man just before it was time. 960 years old was he at his death. Adam still lived longer than any man that ever lived upon the earth. Now, verse 6. And at that time, after death of Methuselah, the I Am said to Noah, go thou with thy household into the ark, and I will gather thee all the animals of the earth and the beasts of the field and the fowls of the air, and they shall all come and surround the ark. We're in chapter 6 and verse 2. And thou shalt go and seat thyself by the doors of the ark, and all the beasts and the animals and the fowl shall assemble and place themselves before thee, and such of them as come and crouch before thee. In other words, they're going to bow before you, Noah. The ones that bow, he says, shalt thou take and deliver into the hands of thy sons, who shall bring them into the ark. And all that will stand before thee thou shalt leave. Remember Gideon, God had told him he only chose 300 men. You can figure out where the Greeks get that 300 from. But anyway, God told him, he said, every man that lappeth the water like a dog, let him go. But the man that takes the water and put it to his mouth while he's watching, yes, those are going to say it. There was 300 men total that did that put the mouth, instead of bowing down, but they just put it to their mouth and drank. They were watching. God wants watchers these days. He wants those who would watch unto prayer. Watch. You listen to the news. You listen to the happenings all around you. Watch unto prayer. Praying. Always. And the I Am brought about that on the next day, animals, beasts, and fowls came in great multitudes and surrounded the ark. Now we're going to go to verse 5. And a lioness came with her 2 whelps. This is 2 whelps, male and female. So there were 3. And the 3 crouched before Noah, and the 2 whelps rose up against the lioness and smote her and made her flee from her place. Now, these lions, she's not going to hurt her own children. She just got the way out of there. Now, and made her flee from her place, and she went away, and they returned to their places and crouched upon the earth before Noah. Did you know at one time, according to this narrative, that the animals talked to Adam? They know. These animals is not as dumb as you think they are, but they are all mostly led by their instincts. Their instinct basically is hunger, copulation, and to deliver after their kind. That's what that is. And this is what man basically is about. He's going to copulate. He's going to have babies. He's going to replenish. He's not replenishing, but he's going to produce those after his kind. This is the basic thing. Then after that is over with, what do? You enjoy the offspring of your offspring. You enjoy the things that other people take for granted. And the lioness ran away and stood, verse 6, and in the place of the lions. And Noah saw this and wondered greatly. And he rose and took the two whelps and brought them into the ark. They were young lions. They were still big. And Noah brought into the ark from all living creatures that were upon the earth, so that there was none left but that which Noah brought into the ark. 2 and 2 came to Noah into the ark, but from the clean animals and the clean fowls he brought 7 couples, as God hath commanded. Now these was not 2, these are 2, I see 7 couples, not just 7 of each. 7 couples, male and female, to copulate and bear after their kind. Yes. Verse 10, and all the animals and beasts and fowls were still there, and they had surrounded the ark at every place, and the rain had not descended till 7 days after. And on that day the I Am caused the whole earth to shake. A trembling. Yes, a big trembling. That is scary enough when you know you're in a place that earthquakes doesn't normally occur, and then all of a sudden here's an earthquake. Yes, it's going to shake you up. And the sun darkened, and the foundations of the world raged, and the whole earth was moved violently. And the lightning flashed, and the thunder roared, and all the foundations in the earth were broken up, such as not known to the inhabitants before. Yes. And God did this mightily, a mighty act in order to terrify the sons of men. He's just doing it to stir them up, that there might be no more evil upon the earth. But that don't sway men. They're going to find out some kind of way to get on. Just 7 on the Richter scale and all these things. This is what you're going to hear when God shakes up the earth. And then in verse 12, he said, and still the sons of men will not return from their evil. They were still doing the same things that God hates, mainly idolatry, walking out of the agenda, adultery, molestations on every hand with any gender. They don't care. And they increased the anger of the Most High. And this is what's happening now. You're getting sucked into all the technology. You're getting sucked into all the modern philosophies and modern ways of doing things. And those who have given up faith and confidence in the Most High to say there is no God, to say, why hadn't he come? They say he come every year. The word of God is blasphemed by those that always prophesy lies, or a spirit come to them from out of the heavens and tell them a lie, and then they begin to believe it. These things are orchestrated. And they increased the anger of the I Am. Verse 13. And at the end of 7 days, in the 600th year of the life of Noah, the waters of the flood were upon the earth. And all the foundations of the deep were broken up. And the windows of heaven were open. And rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. Now, we're going to stop here, but the rain it wasn't just the rain. It was the water was pushed up out of the earth that caused most of it to flood the whole earth itself. The earth was one land at that time. There was no, Pangea is a real thing. The earth was one. Now, when it is split, we don't know. But we know it's not when they said it split, because their calculations are tainted with bias. And with that, we're going to say peace.